DC motor, speed and torque develop. Atin munang alamin ang kahulugan ng speed at torque na nakaugnay sa ating topic bago tayo magsimula. Speed. Speed is the rotation of armature of DC motor. DC controls adjust speed by varying the voltage sent to the motor. This differs from AC motor control, which is adjust the line frequency to the motor. Typical no-load or synchronous speed for an AC fractional horsepower motor are 1,800 or 3,600 RPM, 1,000 to 5,000 RPM for DC fractional HP motors. Moment of force is the tendency of force to rotate or an object about an axis. A force is push or pull. Torque is twist of an. Yung torque daw po naman is twist ng object. Tapos yung torque is equal sa F times R. When armature conductors of a DC motor carry current in the presence of stator fixed flux, a mechanical torque is developed between the armature and the stator. Torque is given by the product of the force and the radius at which force acts. Ito naman po is yung formula ng DC motor speed rotation. N equals 60 times E sub B A all over P O Z, where yung N is the speed of armature rotation or RPM, A is the armature current paths, E sub B is the back EMF or volts. Yung P naman is the number of poles. Then yung Z is the number of conductors. Tapos yung O is the flux per pole. After assembly, A, P, and Z is constant, which is yung K sub S, and yung K sub F is the proportionality constant. N sub F is field windings turned, and the I sub F is the field current. Next naman is yung Fleming's left hand rule. Ayan yung picture ng Fleming's left hand rule, which states that if we stretch the thumb, middle finger, and index finger of the left hand in such a way that they make an angle of 90 degrees perpendicular to each other, and the conductor placed in the magnetic field experience magnetic force. Ito naman po is yung formula po ng torque develop, which is T equals I sub A PZO all over 6.283 times A. Saka yung T equals 9.55 P sub M over N, or P sub M is equal to E sub B times I sub A, where yung T po is yung torque, naka-unit siya sa Newton meter, then yung A is number of armature current paths, tapos yung P sub M is power in armature, naka-unit siya sa may watt, tapos yung P lang is number of poles, yung Z is number of conductors, then yung O is yung flux per pole, tapos naka siya sa Weber. Yung I sub A is yung armature current na naka-unit sa ampere. Tapos meron tayong note na yung 1 Weber is equal siya sa 1 times 10 raised to 8 Maxwell. Next naman na ating di-discuss is yung DC generator characteristic. Malalaman natin dito yung mga characteristic ng DC generators natin. Unahin na natin is yung separately excited. A separately excited DC generator is the one whose field winding is supplied by an independent external DC source. Yung example po nun is yung mga battery natin na merong unit na positive or negative sign para hindi hindi kasi gagana yung ibang mga hindi siya makakapagpagana ng mga kung hindi hindi nakatapat yung positive sa positive and negative sa negative. The magnitude of generated voltage depend upon the speed of rotation of armature and the field current. Greater the speed and the field current, higher is the generated voltage. Next naman na characteristic is yung series wound. A generator whose armature winding and field winding are connected in series, also known as series wound generator. When the field windings of a DC generator is connected in series with the armature, the generator is called a series wound generator. Therefore, the magnetic field of the series field winding is weak. Next is yung shunt wound. A shunt wound generator is a type of direct current electric generator in which field windings and armature windings are connected in parallel. Sinasabi dito na yung shunt generator is type ng direct ng DC generator na yung armature niya saka yung field windings are magka-parallel. So parang dikit silang gano'n. Magka-parallel sila. And in which the armature supplies both the load current and the field current. Tapos yung armature naman ang nagsusupply ng current sa may field current. Last naman is yung short shunt wound. In short shunt wound compound wound generator, the shunt field winding is connected in parallel with the armature winding only. Hindi siya katulad nung sa may shunt wound na dalawa yung kinokonektahan ng field windings. Dito sa may short shunt wound is isa lang. Kaya nga tinawag siya sigurong short. Kasi isa-isa lang siya nakakabit. Which is sa armature windings lang siya nakakabit. The connection diagram of a short shunt wound generator is makikita sa picture. In this type of DC generator, the field is produced by the shunt as well as the series winding. Sa type daw na short shunt wound, yung DC generator is yung field is napoproduce sa shunt as well as series winding. Yung shunt at yung series winding ay napoproduce doon sa may field. Question number 1. A 4-pole generator has 500 conductors on the armature. If the generator is running at 1,200 RPM, find the average voltage generated between the brushes for A lap winding, B, a wave winding, tapos yung total flux per pole is 1 times 10 raised to 6. Tapos ang given niya is P equals 4 poles, tapos yung A is 4, then yung Z is 500, then yung N is 1,200 RPM, then yung is 1, number ng pole is 1 times 10 raised to 6. Then ang formula na gagamitin is N equals 60 EB A over pons. Tapos, yung A natin na hinahanap is equal siya sa may E equals P, number ng poles, NZ, all over 60 A times 10 raised to 8. Then, substitute na natin yung nasa given, which is 4 times 1 times 10 raised to 6. Then, 1,200 RPM. Then, yung 500. Tapos, i-all over natin siya sa may 60 times 4 times 8 raised to 10 raised to 8. Then, ang makukuha natin is 4 times 1 times 10 raised to 6 1 times 10 raised to 6 tapos 1,200 RPM, then 500, tapos yung denominator is 60 times 4 times 10 raised to 8, then equals siya sa may 100 volts. Tapos, sa may B naman is A equals 2 pots. Tapos, yung P is equal sa 4 poles. Then, ito na yung formula ulit natin. P and Z all over 600 times 10 raised to 8 ay 6A. Yan, 60A. Tapos, is equal na natin siya sa may 4 times 1 times 10 raised to 6 times 1,200 times 500 all over 60 times 2 times 10 raised to 8. Tapos, ang ating makukuha is 4, 1, 10, 1, 2, 500, 60, 8. Papalitan lang natin yung given dito ng 2. Ang sagot is 200. 200 volts. Number 2, a short shunt compound generator has a full load current of 60 ampere if the series field resistance is 0.04 ohms and the diverter carries a 24 ampere. What is the diameter of the resistance? Yun yung tanong. Then ang given natin is IL is equal sa may 60 ampere, then RSE is equal to 0.04 ohms, then yung ID, then yung I is equal to 24 ampere. Then ito na yung gagawin natin, RD is unknown, then yung IL natin is equal sa ID plus IL SE, then ISE natin is equal siya sa may IL plus ay minus ID then yung ito is equal natin siya sa may 60 minus 24, which is 60 minus 24 is 36, which is 36 ampere. Then, ang gagawin natin is yung ID RD is equal sa ISE tapos RSE. Then, yung pag RP lang ang hanapin natin, derive ng formula, magiging ISE RSE all over ID. Tapos, substitute na natin yung mga given, which is 36 times 0.04 all over 24. 36 times 0.04 all over 24, which is, ang sagot is 0.06 ohms. Number 3, a short shunt compound generator has a short shunt field resistance of 77 ohms, a series field resistance of 0.008 ohms, a commutating pole winding resistance of 0.005 ohms, and a armature resistance including brushes of 0.02 ohms. When the armature current is 128 ampere, the generated EMF is 234.2 volts. Calculate the power delivered, which is magiging given natin is yung RF is equal siya sa 77 ohms, then yung RSE is equal 0.008 ohms, then yung RA is equal siya sa 0.02 ohms, then yung RC is equal siya 0.005 ohms, tapos yung IR A is equal sa 128 ampere. Then yung EG is equal sa 234.2 volts. Tapos, ang gagawin natin is yung EG is equal natin siya sa VT plus IA times RA plus RC. Then, yung BT is equal natin, magiging, pagka dinerive na is 234.2 minus 128 times quantity na 0.02 plus 0.005. Then, sa calcu is 234.2 minus 128 times the quantity ng 0.02 plus 0.005. Ang sagot is 231 volts. Then BT is equal siya sa may 231 volts. Tapos susunod natin hahanapin is yung IF, which is yung IF is equal natin siya sa BT all over RF. Tapos substitute na natin yung nakuha nating given, ay sagot is, which is yung VT ay yung 231 over natin siya sa may 77 ohms. Tapos ang makukuha nating sagot ay 231 over 77 is equal siya sa may 3 ampere. Ang unit na gagamitin is ampere. Tapos susunod natin hahanapin is yung IL. Ang formula naman sa IL ay yung IA minus IF. Tapos, yung IA natin is yung 128 ampere. I-minus natin yung nakuha nating 3 ampere, which is magiging 125 ampere. Then, yung last natin na kukuhanin is yung PL. PL yung hinahanap natin. So, PL is equal siya sa may IL times yung BF. So, yung IL natin na nakuha kanina is 125 ampere. Times natin siya sa may 231. Then, all over natin siya sa 1,000. Then ang ating magiging sagot is 125 times 231 all over 1,000 is equal siya sa may 28.88. 28.88 ang unit ay kilowatts. Ito na po yung final natin na answer. Number 4, a 5 kilowatt 120 volt compound generator has an armature resistance of 0.25 ohms, a series field resistance of 0.04 ohms, and a shunt field resistance of 57.7 ohms. Assuming a long shunt connection and a voltage drop at the brushes of 2 volts, calculate the generated EMP at full load. Ang mga given natin is P equals sa 5 kilowatts, then yung VT is equal sa 120 volts, tapos yung RA is equal siya sa may 0.23 ohms, then yung RSE is equal siya sa may 0.04 ohms, then yung RF is equal sa 57.5 ohms. Tapos yung VBC is equal siya sa may 2 volts. Tapos ang kailangan natin gawin is yung EG ay equal sa may VT, then plus IA, ta-times natin sa quantity ng RL plus RSE, then pa-plus natin yung VBC. Kaso nga lang yung IA natin, lagyan natin ng but. IA is equal to IF plus IL. Then yung IL natin ay equal siya sa may PL all over VT. Then yung IL na natin ngayon is equal sa may 5,000 watts all over ng 120 volts. Tapos, ang sagot natin is 5,000 divide natin sa 120. 41.67. Then, 41.67 ampere. Then, ang susunod natin nga hanapin is yung IA natin, which is yung IA is equal sa may IF plus IL. Then, IA is equal siya sa may 41.67 na na-compute natin kanina plus yung 2.086. Then, yung IA natin ngayon is 41.67 plus 2.086. 43.756. 43.756. Ang unit natin dyan is ampere. Then, ang susunod natin is yung EG. EG natin, which is 100. Ang susunod pala is yung IF. IF natin is BT over RF. Then, magiging BT natin, kulang pa pala given, kaya IF muna. So, 120 volts over natin siya sa 57.5 ohms. Then, yung magiging IF natin, 2.086 ampere. Tapos, lastly, na-kompleto na natin lahat ng kailangan. Gagawin na natin yung EG na 120 plus 43.756, which is itong nakuha nating IA, times natin yung nakuha nating IF, which is 0.23 plus 0.04, tapos pa plus 2 na lang natin siya. Then, ang makukuha nating sagot is 120 plus 43.73. 756 pala. Times quantity ng 0.23 plus 0.04 133.81. Ito na yung ating final answer. Ito yung ating mga sagot na nakuha.